and today I'm going to arrange a webinar with Mr. Richard Wine, who is head of Better Homes, and we are going to discuss about this pandemic affects the real estate market, how he thinks things will get after this pandemic is over, how it will affect on the prices for sales and rentals, and on different topics. So let's go ahead, call him, and have a chat with him. Hi, Rick. How are you doing?
Hi, Jawad. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you? How's the family? How's the wife?
Yeah, everything is going good. Just enjoying the quarantine time. How's everything going on your side?
Yes, good, good. Trying to keep the kids entertained, but all good, all good. Thank you.
Okay. So over here, the invitation for you so we can discuss about the market impact, about all this pandemic going on. How do you see the real estate will affect during all this time, so our clients, my followers, can get some benefit out of it. So I'll start from the very basic questions for all my clients are asking. How do you see the impact of all the pandemic on the real estate market?
Okay, so look, I think in the short term, the very immediate term, it's obviously had a big impact. It's as we're in this tight lockdown period now, Jawad, as you know, brokers aren't able to go out and view. Clients aren't really willing to go out and view. People don't want other people in their houses to do viewings, tenants and owners. And I understand all that. So in the very, very short term, it's had a big impact into our ability to get out there and show people property. We've also had an impact into transactions. So the DLD are working very hard to get themselves in a position that they can complete transfers on a digital basis. And fingers crossed, we've had our first two. We're just waiting for the title deed to be produced. We'll have done our first two digital transfers this week, and we've got a big number of them to go in throughout this week and next week. But I suppose the bigger question, Jawad, because this won't last forever, this very tight lockdown will lift, hopefully in the coming weeks. And then what will be the legacy impact? What will be the longer term impact? Now, I'm a fairly optimistic guy, and I think there is a real resilience in the market. Before we came into this situation, there was a lot of positivity in the market. There was lots of people very active in the market. We were really seeing sales increase, and we were starting to see prices in some places show signs of recovery. Now, I think when we come out of this, it depends a little bit on how long we are in this for, but I would like to hope that when we come out of this in the coming months, a lot of that desire, that wish to move will still be there. And I suspect what we will see when we come out of this is a little bit of an uplift. Certainly in rentals, what happened is people are still coming to the end of their tenancy. We have people in apartments at the moment really want to get into villas because A, there's good value there. B, they've in the last couple of weeks they've really sort of seen the value of a garden, I guess. So I expect to see a real big impact, uplift in rentals in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully. And in terms of sales, may take a little bit longer for a bit of confidence to return, but I've no doubt that it will return relatively quickly when we get out of the back of this.
And I believe well, market is good or bad, there are always people and investors looking for some good opportunities. Like I got a call from my old client who was not buying from last 4 or 5 months. He gave me a call. He's like, Jawad, how's the situation going on and everything? And he's like, Jawad, I'm looking to buy some properties right now. And he's a kind of buyer who used to buy like a high-end property. Now he's like, high-end mean like I would say 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom in Marina or a downtown. He's like, I'm looking for a small ticket items, because he had a detailed discussion that I feel like that the market is going on that side, that the areas like I would say Jumeirah Village Circle, Sport City, IMPZ, Discovery Garden, Intel City, and other couple of areas will give me a good return in investment. So Do
Yeah.
you think
And
it?
the lower risk, of course. Lower risk in terms of you've got a much lower entry point and you've got very, very good yields in these places. So, and I think that's probably a trend, and you've seen it with me, Jawad, that's been in the market probably for about 12 months now. You know, people going at that sort of level of the market. But I agree with your investor, and I think there'll be more of these types of investors who will see today's uncertainty, today's challenges as an opportunity, not just
Exactly.
in property, but in all markets. You know, there will be people at the moment who are cash rich who will be looking for opportunities to take advantage of where the market is today and will be in the next week. You know, coming months.
Yeah. And okay, one more question, like where in last, I would say 12 months or 18 months, we see there's a lot of end users are coming in the market to buy the property. But on the other side, obviously how the things are going on, we are expecting all over the world, I'm not talking about specifically UAE or Dubai, all over the world, we will see that there will be a jobs cut down, there will be a drop in the salaries of the people. So the end users are those people who are over here employed on a salary basis. So do you think those people will still come to buy the property?
Yeah.
And if they don't, do you think the market will go down furthermore?
So end users is an interesting one. You know, if you look at a couple of factors are very positive for the end user. So the drop in loan to value rates. So you only now need a 20% deposit rather than 25% deposit, and with fees tied in there, you know, from a lot of banks, you reduced your capital outlay from a first-time buyer point of view. Interest rates are as low as, again, we've seen them for about a decade, which again is very positive for that end user market. So if it wasn't for everything else, I think the end user market would be very, very, very busy at the moment. I think the crucial factor for end users is jobs, the employment market. Now, what we have to remember is that the coronavirus is a global pandemic and it's affecting jobs and opportunities across the world.
Exactly.
I, like yourself, Jawad, we're all expats, and I look at my home country at the moment and I think to myself, where would I rather be? Would I rather be riding this out here? Or would I rather be riding this out in the UK? And, you know, personally, I'd rather be here. Absolutely. What I do expect will happen, because let's be honest about things. People will lose their jobs here in the UAE, and I think in the short term you will see people leave. You know, when it's open up and people can leave, people will leave. The people who are leaving, a lot of the people who will be affected in the job market aren't necessarily people who would be actively buying due to their economic status. However, we will still see people leave. But what I do think we're going to see, Jawad, is in the next 3 or 4 or 5 months, what is likely to happen is, because people have lost their jobs in other countries, they will look for opportunity destinations. And Dubai has always been an opportunity destination. And I actually suspect what will happen is, whilst we will lose some people, we will gain more. And you will probably see a net gain in terms of population and a workforce coming here over the next 6, 12 months, as people will be looking for an opportunity. So, you know, I think, again, I go back to the point that the market for end users was good. I think your point about people looking for opportunity, be they end users or investors, is still a good one. So I don't think the end user market will be dead here, no. Like everything, though, you know, people, I think, will be looking for good value. You know, so an end user today, if an end user is looking to purchase over this next period of time, they're going to be wanting value for money, aren't they?
Oh yeah, definitely. The price point is definitely is so attractive right now that I'm sure after we just cross from this pandemic, everything gets settled out, people will still come and buy to look at the properties right now. And you have a very valid point that yes, the people will go, but Dubai has always so much opportunity that definitely will
Yeah.
see new wave of people will come into the market. As you have very rightly said that if we compare to anywhere in the world right now, uh, God bless us that we are in a situation right in a country right now that the government has doing a lot of good, taking good steps, I would say. Like, yes, we are in a quarantine right now, but I think it's a good step just to cure from this virus right now. Okay,
Yeah, agreed. I think the government's taken a very strong stance.
yeah. So, okay, in this market,
Please
like
go.
globally, like, okay, real estate is one of the sectors where people are investing the money. There are others, like sectors we are talking about, stock markets, bonds, other investment opportunities. What do you think after all these things like settle down? What do you think the people will come to invest into the real estate, or do you think the people will go for a safer type of investment just to put the money into the bank, or they'll go with the stock market or bonds? Just a general opinion on that situation.
Well, well, look, I mean, I'm a property man, Jawad, so I'll always say property. But look, I think most sensible investors have a hedged portfolio. You know, most sensible people will have a little bit in liquid cash because you always want a bit of liquid cash for a rainy day. Most people will have a bit in equities. Equities obviously had a incredibly difficult time about 2 or 3 weeks ago. They have recovered somewhat in the meantime, but I think there is some value to be found there. And then you've got the sort of the safe havens, haven't you? Gold and perhaps putting it under your mattress. Most people will do a little bit of everything, but I think if you look at property through tough times, it's always a pretty good safe haven bet. You know, you can buy a property, you can put a tenant in there, it will generate an income for you. And frankly, it's a little bit, you know, one thing that may happen in the future, we may, as we see a lot of governments are reacting to this by quantitative easing, lots and lots of government spending. Some of that government spending will be through borrowing. Some of it is likely through generating extra money in their own systems. There is a chance that that could create a little bit of inflation over the next period of time, over the next 2-3 years. And anybody who's owned property through an inflationary period has always done very well out of it, because it will increase the value of your asset and it decreases your liabilities and what you're paying out in real terms. So, you know, I actually think property, in terms of a safe haven bet over the next period of time, is where a lot of savvy investors will be looking.
And one more very interesting thing, because like last, I would say 1 week or 2 weeks, I'm getting inquiries from those people who never invested in Dubai. Those are like very new people who know about Dubai, who always have a plan or dream to live in Dubai or want to invest in Dubai. So right now I'm getting inquiries. These are very fresh people. They don't know much about the property, how things work, but I'm like, it's a good positive sign from my side that I would say that new people are planning to come up. So I'm sure those kind of people will come. It will be a good wave, and we will see a good investment from a new people right now.
But I agree. I think that goes back to what we were saying, Jawad, that during these times, people will look to Dubai as an opportunity place, both for investment and to live. So you may find some of those people you're talking to are actually weighing up the options of leaving their home country and coming to Dubai as you know, for the next few years in terms of living arrangements, because they're seeing the economic opportunities in their own country are not what they hoped they would be. So, you know, I think that will be a factor playing into new residents, new investors, and new opportunities coming to Dubai, you know, over the coming 6-12 months, certainly.
And apart from all this situation, I think we see a very good transition going on. The report, the data which is officially given by the property finder, that the transactions has been increased by 9.74%, which is a very positive sign for all the people planning to live into buy a property and who already have a property in Dubai. So I think it's a time, as you are right, that it's a time that we have to see how the market going on, how the things cover up. When we get out of this situation, then we will see a very clear picture. And yes, as you are positive, I'm positive about that. Yes, we will see have a good business. But yes, I believe it might take few weeks just to get things settled down, because after this thing increase, everybody will start going back to their work. So we need some time just to get some lot of business.
Yeah, agreed. I'm looking forward to getting back to the office, Jawad.
Oh yeah, same here. Same. Okay, last few things. Okay, in terms of ROI, return on investment, as we people are talking about, prices will go down, and the rents are already being dropped a lot. Like if we are talking about any part of
Yeah.
Dubai, like especially the new areas like Dubai Hills and Dubai Creek, which is, I would say, a very good value for money. Like what Imar is providing right now in Dubai Hills, and the quality and the area what you are getting is amazingly very good. So what do you think in ROI, if somebody buy a property after this pandemic going on, that they will get a more ROI?
So you mean in terms of pure rental yield?
Yeah.
So look, I think two buyers buying two properties at the same time can end up getting two different ROIs, Jawad, because one of them gets a better deal than another. You know,
Yeah.
I do think we are likely to see pressures on rents continue a little bit, although we are getting to the point where rents are not a huge are not that much higher than most people's costs in certain areas. So there's not a huge amount further for them to go. Where I think there has been some positive news, certainly for investors in terms of their net ROI rather than their gross ROI, is around service charges and service charge relief, and that was announced this week. So there's a little bit more information we're hoping to put out about that, but that's certainly a positive. But I think we were talking before this incident happening of certain areas of Dubai offering ROI of 8, 9, 10%. Some of the more, like your investor was talking about, JVCs, Discovery Gardens, International Cities, those sort of places. You're buying a unit at 390, 350, and you're renting it out at 32,000. So the return is very, very good. Now, may we see a little bit of pressure on that over a period of time, potentially, but if you can buy a property and you can get a good purchase price on it, then you protect that, of course. But most investors from around the world, when they hear of rental returns around 8, 9, 10%, that's unheard of in their own country. Back in the UK, we'll be lucky if we get 1.5%, 2%, where in certain places, and even less. Central London, you won't even get 1% in many cases. So I think even if investors were seeing returns here of 5, 6, 7%, I think a lot of them will still find that great value in terms of what they're getting, in terms of the quality of what they get, the security of what they get in terms of investing in Dubai, and the long-term prospects of the country.
Oh yeah. So I'll not take much of your time. Last 2-3 questions. So what's the better home strategy in this crisis, and how we are planning to moving ahead after the lockdown is been lifted?
It's a good question. Our first strategy is to make sure that our staff, like yourself, have all the tools they need to do business and are fit and healthy and well, and we're looking after each other in terms of our mental states and keeping busy. But how we're going to come out of the back of it, we'll continue with our investment into marketing. So we're not pulling back on anything in that front. And what we'll actually do, Jawad, in terms of company strategies, look for opportunities within this market for the business. So there will be opportunities for us to consolidate the marketplace, possibly by bringing in other brokerages or bringing in other brokers from other brokerages. So that really will be the key for us. So when we come out of this, as we will, we'll make sure that we're in a strong place to take advantage, and all our brokers can be in a strong place to take advantage as well.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. And very last thing, what's your suggestion to all our Better Homes clientele in terms of sellers, buyers, landlord? What message you want to give in the end?
No, I think the message to everybody, buyers, sellers, clients, friends, colleagues, family, is this is a fairly unique environment and experience we're all living through, but it will end. It will come to an end, and life will continue. People will always need a roof over their head, and people always want to work with good, honest, and well-educated in the market real estate brokers like yourself, Jawad. And I think
Thank you so much.
I personally think that there will be a huge drive and desire globally and nationally by every single one of us to get out there, get out of our homes, live again, spend again, breathe again, go to the restaurants, go to the shops, go to the offices, and get life going again very, very quickly. So whilst I imagine, we read about how this is going to be a very deep and sharp recession, and I think it probably is, and we're in it now because this is what we're experiencing. I think the recovery will also be quick and sharp because there'll be this desire and this will to get out there and get the economy going again from every single one of us across the world. I, for one, Jawad, the day I am told it is safe for me and the kids to get on an aeroplane and go on holiday somewhere, we'll be going on holiday somewhere. So, even things like the tourism industry, which has been very, very, very hard hit, I would expect we'll see, recovery quicker than they might expect out the back of other recessions.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Totally agree with you. And honestly, in the end, I feel myself, okay, it's a hard time, it's a difficult time for everybody, but I think I feel myself lucky to be in this time because this time, this crisis, this pandemic teaches a lot of things. Like in terms of family time, in terms of work, in terms of economy, in terms of stabilization, how you have to spend your money, where you have to spend your money. We are getting so much time where we don't get time in our daily lives to look at so many of the things. What are the opportunities we are getting it? What are the different countries who are providing different kind of options, which we don't get a time in our busy life.
Yeah, I agree with you. You have to look at the silver linings and look at the opportunities. The family time in particular. I'm trying to homeschool one of my daughters at the moment, which is interesting. But yeah, you're right. We won't get this. We will be back in the offices before we know it, and these times will be behind us. So you need to try and make the most of it to a certain extent, and try and make the best of it. Certainly.
Yeah. In the end, thank you so much, Rick. Thanks for your time. I hope you are safe, keep your family safe, and I will be in touch with you and looking forward to see you soon in the office.
Absolutely. Cheers, Ejari. You take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching my video. If you like it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to get notified about my upcoming videos. Thank you.